Oh my! Welcome to another episode of Ranking the Studio Albums. I'm Chris Norwood. I'm on a journey to hear every song ever recorded, and I'm having a lot of fun ranking the studio albums by bands and musicians that I've already listened to their entire discography. I've been a huge My Chemical Romance fan. Unfortunately, I did see them in concert before I was a fan. I went to see Green Day in 2005, and they were an opening band, and I just hadn't really heard much by them. And me and my dad were not impressed when we saw them. You know, we weren't familiar with the music, and I think I'd only heard a couple of singles at the time. Just wasn't really my cup of tea back then. But the following year, they really blew up, and I really got into them and really did a deep dive into their catalog pretty quickly after getting into it. I actually discovered a lot of their music through Walmart, where I was working at the time. I heard Famous Last Words at Walmart, and it really just blew me away. Really emotional track, really got me into the band big time, and I've been a fan ever since. Been waiting on this return that we've been hearing about. Right now we have 4 records by this band, and so there are, it's going to be an interesting ranking. I'll put it that way. I'm going to start with the worst and work my way up to the best and try not to say I know I've already said a few times, but I'm going to try not to say ever again. Let's jump right into it. First, coming in the worst and first, is going to be the first record. I brought you my bullets, something, 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 something. I brought you my bullets, you brought me your love. After really getting into My Chemical Romance, I tried to go back and get their back catalog. Unfortunately, this one just really was not doing much for me sonically. Back when I first listened to it, probably in 2005 or 6, and doesn't do much for me today. There are some decent tunes on here. Honey, This Mirror Isn't Big Enough for the Two of Us is okay. Other than that, I'm just not really digging this record at all. That early stuff by My Chemical Romance, just not really my scene, baby. So coming in next. So that's the only bad My Chemical Romance album in my ranking. After that, everything is pretty darn good. But I'll get into what I like and don't like. So coming in next is going to be 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. And this one was released in 2004 with a lot of singles. I remember when this was starting to circulate, starting to get a lot of radio play, video plays, but it just wasn't in my radar quite yet. But once it was, I did enjoy Helena, Give 'Em Heck Kid, You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison, I'm Not Okay, I Promise, The Ghost of You, The Jet Set Life Is Gonna Kill You. I'm just sort of going over the highlights. Thank You for the Venom is a really great one. And some of the other songs are okay. So, not terrible. There are some skippable songs on this album. I'd say it's almost half and half for me with 3 Cheers. 3 Cheers, yada yada yada. I'm punk rock. I don't have to say the titles if I don't want to. Oh man, you guys like this coat? It's like, I feel like Mike Dirnt from Green Day. Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Walking slowly. So, after this, I was going to say it'd be pretty easy to rank the next 2, but it's really not. Actually, it is. Actually, it's not. Coming in next, and I have these on physical copies. for sure. Coming in next is going to have to be gorgeous, gorgeous record. Coming in next is going to be Danger Days, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys. I love this record. Absolutely love this record. Produced by Rob Cavallo of Green Day fame and the band. Doug McKean is another big name. Chris Loredowns, who mixes every album ever made in the history of the universe. Danger Days. I believe all My Chemical Romance's albums are concept albums, and I love that. I'm a huge Green Day fan, and I feel like My Chemical Romance are the only punk band to come anywhere close to what Green Day were doing with their concept records in the earlier 2000s. Or at least the only ones that were doing it right. And it did feel like they were kind of on the coattails of Green Day, but they really made it their own, and they really did a good job. Of course, ooh, I'd like to have some of this gear. Check out the Na 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 shirt. Or the MCR, the American Spider. Ooh, 10% off. Expires in 2012. Darn it! I want to talk to My Chemical Romance's manager. There's some albums there. I actually have that The Black Parade is Dead, the live album. You had 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge and Live on the Murder Scene. So they had, yeah, both with studio and live versions. There's a fly in here. There's a spider on here. Parental advisory. Doesn't smell that great, but I love the artwork on this one. This thing is gorgeous. You get My Chemical Romance, Danger Days, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys. You got Gerard Way with his red hair. You get this na 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 Bulletproof Heart. Absolutely love those first 2 tracks. Sing It for the boys. Sing it for the girls. Oh yeah, Sing is beautiful. Planetary Go is another highlight. Ain't Got No Time to Pretend. I Don't Mess Around. This is our last chance. If my velocity starts to make you sweat, then just don't let go. So yeah, solid album. Darn near perfection. Darn near perfection. The Only Hope for Me Is You. Party Poison. Save Yourself, I'll Hold Them Back. Scarecrow, or S/C/A/E/R/E/C/R/O/W, no slash. Got motorcycles, motorcycle helmets. Oh, there's the bad guys. Oh no. There needs to be a movie based on this. Summertime, Destroya, The Kids from Yesterday, and Vampire Money. Really cool, and I'm looking at this now. I'm looking at Vampire Money. Drive a blank car. What is that? Drive a blank car. Drive a blank car. Drive a blank car. We'll have to hold on to that for later. Here's the disc. Ooh, that's a Green Day font on Danger Days there. Ooh, man, what is that font? And then you got the villain there again, shooting laser beams. Pretty cool album there. And are you guys ready? Are you guys pumped up for the greatest My Chemical Romance album of all time? Boom! My Chemical Romance is The Black Parade. Epic, iconic artwork. And check it out, there's the back of the actual CD. There's the front of the actual CD. This album is perfect. It even smells good. Absolutely perfect concept record. One of the best of its kind. Up, we got some merch. It expired day before Halloween 2008. You could have got these previous albums. You could have got some like Dead merch. It expired, so good luck stealing my codes, you jerks. The disc. There's a little cancer patient flying into the sun. And I actually, let's just dive into this thing, shall we? What do we got here? Uh-oh. Got the lyrics. Really, really cool artwork. And then this, the whole, everybody. So, things kick off with the end. Now come one, come all to this tragic affair. Wipe off that makeup. What's in is despair. Real and raw and emotional and dying and dead. Ah! 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 Another concussion, my funeral jag. Here's my resignation. I'll serve it in drag. You've got front row seats to the penitence ball. When I grow up, I want to be nothing at all. I said, yeah, yeah. I said, yeah, yeah. Come on, come on, come on. I said, save me. Get me out of here. Save me. Too young to die, my dear. You can't. If you can hear me now, just walk away and take me. This album will have you hooked right off the bat. Now, it does have elements that kind of sound like American Idiot and Bohemian Rhapsody. Both have that, get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. And this one does too. But it works. It works. Number 2 is Dead. And if your heart stops beating, I'll be here wondering, did you get what you deserve? The ending of your life. Anyway, wouldn't it be great if we were dead, 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 tongue-tied and oh so squeamish, you never fell in love. And if we get to heaven, I'll be here waiting, baby. Did you get what you deserve? Your heart can't take this. Wouldn't it be great to take a pistol by the hand, and wouldn't it be great if we were dead? If life ain't just a joke, then why are we laughing? If life ain't just a joke, then why am I dead? Now the story is definitely hard to follow, definitely hard to keep track of what's going on, when and where and who and why. It's about a cancer patient whom is going through the battle of their life. Number 3 is a really great, these are just hard rockin' tunes. This is How I Disappear. To unexplain the unforgivable, drain away the blood and give the kids a show. The street light, the dark night, a seance down below. There's things I have done you never should ever know. And without you is how I disappear to live my life alone forever now. Hey, maybe Green Day was ripping off the Black Parade on Revolution Radio. And without you is how I disappear and live my life alone forever now. Who walks among the famous living dead, drown all the boys and girls inside your bed. And if you could talk to me, tell me if it's so that all the good girls go to heaven. Well, heaven knows. So I can't hurt you anymore, so I can't hurt you anymore. Forever, forever now. So, number 4 is one of my favorite songs of all time, The Sharpest Lives. In my opinion, it's one of the greatest rock songs to ever have been recorded. Well, it rains, and I love the fast-paced machine gun delivery of the lyrics. Well, it rains and it pours when you're out on your own. If I crash on the couch. Was that a smooth transition? That's what I thought. We were talking about The Sharpest Lives, the greatest rock and roll song of all time. We got interrupted. We're going to keep rolling like Limp Bizkit, unrelated band. I bet I could do a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon from My Chemical Romance to Limp Bizkit. I guarantee you I could. Actually, I already know it. So, My Chemical Romance doing a concept record like inspired by Green Day, who were inspired by The Who. The Who were covered by Limp Bizkit. Boom! I can do anybody. I'm here all day, people. Anyway, if the tone of the video changed, it's going to get darker. It's going to get darker and darker. There's a black guitar over there. There's this. The remote that controls you all is black. This is black. And the next song, oh, we got to keep going on about The Sharpest Lives. Well, it rains and it pours when you're out on your own. If I crash on the couch, can I sleep in my clothes? Because I spent the night dancing. I'm drunk, I suppose. If it looks like I'm laughing, I'm really just asking to leave. This alone, you're time for the show. You're the one that I need. I'm the one that you loathe. You can watch me corrode like a beast in repose because I love all the poison away with the boys in the band. Poison is a theme that comes up in a lot of My Chemical Romance tunes, or at least 2. That's a lot. I've really been on a bender and it shows. So why don't you blow me a kiss before she goes? Give me a shot to remember, and you can take all the pain away from me. A kiss and I will surrender. The sharpest lives are the deadliest to lead, a light to burn out the empires. So bright the sun is ashamed to rise and be alive without these vampires. So you can leave like the saint, abandon me. Greatest rock and roll song, period. Greatest song, period. My Chemical Romance wrote the greatest song ever. The Sharpest Live ever. Fantastic tune. Can't talk about it enough. Coming in next is the title track. Welcome to the Black Parade, track number 5. We all know this song. It was epic. It was a huge hit. Had the crazy good video. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. He said, one day, when you grow up, blah, 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 a phantom, young boy, my father, the savior of the broken, the beaten. And through it all, the rise and fall, the bodies in the street. And when you're gone, we want you all to know. We'll carry on. We'll carry on. We'll carry on. And though you're dead and gone, believe me, your memory will carry on. Will carry on. Will carry on. Decimated dreams litter the landscape of this bleak, dark record. And it's amazing. So emotional. And we're going to get to some serious emotional here. You guys think Anthony Fantano's crying or something? You haven't seen anything yet. We'll carry on. I Don't Love You is track number 6. Well, when you go, don't ever think I'll make you try to stay. And maybe when you get back, I'll be off to find another way. After all the time that you still owe, you're still a good for nothing, I don't know. So take your gloves and get out. Better get out while you can. Now, there's a lot of references to medical procedures here. And when this album came out, my mother was dealing with her illness. She was dealing with cancer, to which she later lost her life. And since, that was during this album's release, a few years later, about a few years later, 2014, I was dealing with my own cancer diagnosis. And I can say I enjoyed this record before my cancer diagnosis. After this cancer diagnosis, I really identify with it, and I recognize that they did a really good job of accurately describing what it is like to have cancer. I was diagnosed with testicular cancer in 2014. Everything's good now. I'm beyond the 5-year mark, which is a really good sign that it probably will not come back. I did lose one testicle, a kidney, and all the lymph nodes in my abdomen, or from neck down. I lost the lymph nodes. A little bit lopsided. Does take a bit to get used to missing the external organ that I'm missing, but hey, we'll get to some more in-depth on that in a minute. So I Don't Love You has some gloves, some medical things, the blood. Coming in next at number 7, House of Wolves. It's a really great tune. I know a thing about contrition because I've got enough to spare, and I'll be granting your permission because I haven't got a prayer. Well, I said, hey, hey, hallelujah. I'll come on, sing the praise. So let the Spirit come on through ya. We've got innocence for days. I could do a lyrical analysis of this record. I might do a video all about the Black Parade later. We're gonna talk about it right now, though. Well, I think I'm gonna burn in heck. Everybody burn the house right down. And they say what I want to say. Tell me I'm an angel, take this to my grave. Tell me I'm a bad man, kick me like a stray. Tell me I'm an angel, take this to my grave. Ring around the ambulance, the choir boys. It's a compliment, I swear. Ashes to ashes we all fall down. You better run like the devil because they're never going to leave you alone. You better hide up in the alley because they're never going to find you a home. And as the blood runs down the walls, you see me creeping up these halls. I've been a bad man. Tell your sister I'm another. Tell me I'm a bad, 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 bad man. This is deeply, darkly disturbing. But as I was talking about with my cancer diagnosis and my family history of cancer, oddly enough, testicular cancer is not hereditary, even though everyone in my family has cancer. I was unlucky enough to get one that's not hereditary. And I will say, this description of chemotherapy in My Chemical Romance song is haunting and disturbing. And unfortunately for me and my family, it's extremely relatable. Turn away. If you could get me a drink of water, because my lips are chapped and faded, call my Aunt Marie. Help her gather all my things and bury me in all my favorite colors. And I actually have a haunting memory where my mother, who is gone now, actually, she heard this song and she agreed that it is very accurate, a description of going through chemotherapy and losing your life, or possibly losing your life. Bury me in all my favorite colors, my sisters and my brothers still. I will not kiss you. They don't want you to kiss people when you're doing chemotherapy, or have close contact with them. You can make them sick from people touching you if you're doing chemotherapy. I actually had some issues with a buddy back here licking my head. I would let them lick my skin, and I was told I shouldn't do that because it could poison the dog as well. Because the hardest part of this is leaving you. Now turn away, because I'm awful just to see. All my hairs abandon all my body. Oh, my agony. Now, I was bald before chemo. I hoped that it would come back thicker. Sometimes it does come back like baby hair after it grows back, but it came back thinner, unfortunately, with spots and patches. So I have to shave my head at this point. It looks so bad. I actually enjoyed losing all the body hair. I'm a pretty hairy guy, so I did enjoy not having to shave for the better part of a year. That was awesome. And being baby smooth, that was pretty sweet. No back hair, no shoulder hair. Every hair on your body abandons you. The only hair that kind of was disturbing for me to lose was my eyebrows. Eyelashes, it's weird, but I think I never ended up completely with no hair. I did have like a half of an eyebrow. But yeah, it's even if you're not overly concerned with hair or your appearance, it is devastating. You know, for me, being a bald guy anyway, losing the eyebrows was kind of when I started to feel like I looked like a freak. Especially, there was a 100-pound difference. I weigh about 200 and something now. I got down to about 130, and I looked like a skeleton. I couldn't get comfortable. Sitting was painful. Getting in a bathtub was painful. Laying down was painful. I just felt bones on surface. Okay. Know that I will never marry. Baby, I'm just soggy from the chemo, but counting down the days to go. Yeah, soggy. If you've ever been through chemotherapy, that is the word. I was soggy. I still feel soggy from the chemo sometimes. The chemo brain, the chemo fog. It's really mentally and physically devastating. And it just ain't living. And I just hope you know that if you say goodbye today, I'd ask you to be true. Because the hardest part of this is leaving you. Because the hardest part of this is leaving you. I actually had another story about that song. I played it for another person while we were in my car, and she actually asked me, I was like, hey, do you maybe need to turn this? Like, you seem like you're getting really shaken up while listening to this song. And I was like, no, let it play. It's helping me. Crying is good. Music is therapy. Crying is good. Cry all the time. Coming in next is Mama, featuring a weird, bizarre feature from Liza Minnelli. Really cool. Don't know a whole lot about Liza, but this song really made me like her, whereas I'd never really heard much of anything from her before. Mama, we all go to heck. Mama, we all go to heck. I'm writing this letter and wishing you wick. Mama, we all go to heck. Oh, well, now, Mama, we are gonna die. Mama, we're gonna die. Stop asking me questions. I hate to see you cry. Mama, we're all gonna die. Oh, man, it's such a hard rocking tune. And when we go down, and when we go, don't blame us. We let the fires just bathe us. You made us oh so famous. We'll never let you go. And when you go, don't return to me, my love. What the heck? Mama, we're all full of lies. Mama, we're meant for the flies. and right now they're building a coffin your size. Mama, we're all full of lies. Well, mother, why the ward into my legs, into my tongue? You should have raised the baby girl. I should have been a better son. If you could coddle the infection, they could amputate it once. You should have been. I could have been a better son. One of my favorite lines from the whole thing, that I love that really rapid fire shot of lyrics. There's really nothing better when it's done correctly, and this song really nails it. Goodness gracious. When we go, you ain't no son of mine. For what you've done, they're going to find a place for you, and just you mind your manners when you go. And when you go, don't return to me, my love. And then you get Liza Minnelli at the end saying, and if you would call me your sweetheart, I'd maybe then sing you a song. But there's things that I've done with this never gun. You would cry out your eyes all along. Wow, this is one of the most depressing things. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this album is just disturbing in every way. There might be some bright moments. Let's see, lyrically? Oh my gosh. Lyrically, maybe there's some hope in the title track, Welcome to the Black Parade, about the father giving his son some advice and remembering him after he's gone. But the rest of these, it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. It's actually like being a cancer patient. It's so freaking bad. There's no hope in this at all. Except, with the brief glimmer of remembering someone who's died. The bodies in the streets. That's from the happiest song on the record? Really? There's bodies littering the streets. Painting it black. So, yeah, we're carrying on. But everyone's dead. There's just bodies piled up in the street. You're broken and defeated. You're dead. I'm dead. She's dead. She doesn't love him. I don't love her. Oh my gosh. But we will carry on. That's the important thing. We'll carry on. Though we're broken, defeated, dead. There's dead bodies in the streets. Everybody's wearing gas masks. But we'll carry on. Then you got I Don't Love You. I Don't Love You Anymore. The House of the Wolves is depressing as ever. Running around with monsters chasing you. Then you got Being Soggy from Chemotherapy. And then you've got your mother hating you and condemning you to heck for all eternity. So this is some grim, grim, grim stuff. Now track 10 is my least favorite song off the record. It took a long time to grow on me, whereas the rest of the record just really ripped my heart out from the beginning. But Sleep is not bad. It's not bad. It's just the weaker track of the album, in my opinion. It's just as depressing and morbid as the rest. Some say, now suffer the children and walk away the Savior, or a madman and polluted. From gutter institutions, don't you breathe for me, undeserving of your sympathy, because there's no way I'm sorry for what I did. How could you cry for me because I don't feel bad about it? Kiss me goodbye, sleep, just sleep. The hardest part is letting go of your dreams. This is not a happy moment either. A drink for the horrors that I'm in, for the good guys and the bad guys, the monsters that I've been. 3 cheers for tyranny, unapologetic apathy, because there's no way I'm coming back again. Yeah, this is an emotionally just freaking nightmare. Now, the next track is fun. Now, they're all fun to listen to. Even the horrible earth-shaking cancer is enjoyable to listen to. But the next one is a head bopper, which maybe you needed after this emotional turmoil. Let's see. So this is like reading a newspaper article from back in the day. Teenagers. What a bop. Love this tune. Love it. Teenagers scare the living bleep out of me. They could care less as long as we'll jump right in. They're going to clean up your looks with all the lies in the books to make a citizen out of you. This is already bitter and morbid because they sleep with a gun to keep an eye on you, son, so they can watch all the things you do. There's no hope in this record whatsoever because the drugs never work. They're going to give you a smirk because they got methods of keeping you clean. They're going to rip up your heads, your aspiration to threads, another cog in the murder machine. They say that teenagers scare the living bleep out of me. They could care less as long as someone will bleed. So darken your clothes, I'll strike a violin pose. Maybe they'll leave you alone, but not me. The boys and the girls in the clique, the awful names that they stick. You're never going to fit in much, kid. But if you're troubled and hurt, what you got under your shirt will make them pay for the things that they did. This is... were people outraged? Was there outrage about this record? Did it help it sell copies that it was so bleak and disturbing? Number 12, Disenchanted. One of my favorite moments from the record. While I was there on the day they sold the calls for the Queen. And when the lights all went out, we watched our lives on the screen. Now, I heard some stories that this song was actually written as a slight diss to the band Queen, who had, obviously being played in car commercials and all kinds of commercials. So a little bit of a knock at Queen. Don't knock Queen. I won't stand for it, MCR. If this record wasn't as good as it is, I'd have some serious issues with you talking bad about Queen. Alright? We're going to have some problems here. Mr. Goth Emo Man. I hate the ending myself, but it started with an alright scene. Hey! A little bit of hope in here. It started with an alright scene, but it ended in death and blackness and sickness and bodies and gas masks. Oh, it was the roar of the crowd that gave me heartache to sing. It was a lie when they smiled and said you won't feel a thing. And as we ran from the cops, we laughed so hard it would sting. So there's, even the fun parts is running from cops and dissolving into the ether. If I'm so wrong, how can you listen all night long? Now will it matter after I'm gone because you never learned a thing? A bleeping thing. A bleeping thing. You're just a sad song with nothing to say. About a lifelong wait for a hospital stay. And if you think that I'm wrong, this never meant nothing to you, to ya. I spent my high school career spit on and shoved to agree so I could watch all my heroes sell a car on TV. Bring out the old guillotine. We'll show you what we all mean. You're just a sad song with nothing to say. So go away, just run away. But where did you run to? Where did you hide? Go find another way. Pay your price. Gosh, this record is just making me physically hurt. I love it. And then the track that really got me into this band, Famous Last Words, the 13th track on the album, and this thing, wow, it's definitely my favorite single from My Chemical Romance. I love The Sharpest Lives the better, but Famous Last Words, definitely one of the greatest singles of all time. Now I know. And the video, actually there's a story that the band actually was injured during the filming of the video, and gosh, it was worth it. They actually got burned while making the video. Now I know that I can't make you stay, but where's your heart? But where's your heart? But where's your... And I know there's nothing I can say to change that part, to change that part, to change. So many bright lights that cast a shadow, but can I speak? Is it hard understanding I'm incomplete? A life that's so demanding, I get so weak. A love that's so demanding, I can't speak. That build-up is just beautiful. I am not afraid to keep on living. I am not afraid to walk this road alone. Honey, if you stay, I'll be forgiven. Nothing on your love could keep me running home. I messed up the great song. See, I was trying to look at the camera. You guys really messed me up. Nothing you can say can stop me going home. Can you see my eyes are shining bright? Because I'm out here on the other side of a jet black hotel mirror, and I'm so weak. Is it hard understanding? I'm incomplete. A love that's so demanding, I get weak. These bright lights have always blinded me. These bright lights have always blinded me. I said, I see you lying next to me with words I thought I'd never speak. Awake and unafraid, asleep or dead. I am not afraid to keep on living. I am not afraid to walk this world alone. Honey, if you stay, I'll be forgiven. Nothing you can say can stop me going home. Wow. 2006, The Black Parade. There's a bonus track as well. Blood. It's another song about medical procedures. And it's just, yeah, this is the number one, the best My Chemical Romance album record of all time. (2006's) The Black Parade. Now, there's some rumblings that this band is getting back together. Wouldn't it be great if we were dead? And wouldn't it also be great if they were to release an album that topped this one? Like and subscribe. like and subscribe immediately. If you don't like and subscribe,